So when I was 18, well, I graduated high school. I was 18, and I moved to Houston. My brother was living in Houston,
Okay.
and I wasn't around, people I knew or anything like that. That this was the first time I was actually taken serious. Like I moved to Houston, and I mean, this is who I presented. So of course, it was easier for me to get a job, and I realized that it's so easier to get a job as a female than who I was before.
Okay.
Uh, so
So
and
okay. So Jay, before we get to, I'm sorry, when you said you moved to Houston, where were you in your transition at that time? How far were you?
I was far along. I didn't have any surgeries yet, but I was far along. I
Okay.
was I was already soft. I was already, I had big hormone breasts and things like that. I was already soft. I was already, I mean, I've been hormoning since I was 15, 16 years old.
Oh,
So, I was
okay.
already like soft and everything. But I just wasn't like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't stuffing my bra yet, but I had little breasts that you would see through my shirt,
Right.
but I wasn't putting on
Fully developed.
yeah, like I wasn't stuffing it so
Mhm.
you could really see it. But then when I moved to Houston, all that changed. When I moved to Houston, I I really felt like I was diamond from the Players Club because there was like I was working at McDonald's and this girl was like, "You are so pretty." I was like, "Thank you," but she was saying that because she knew, you know, we were sisters. So she was like,
Got
"You
it.
are so
Got it.
pretty," and I
Got
was
it.
like, "Thank you," and she was like, "Well, you like working at McDonald's?" And I was like, "I mean, it, you know, I just
Pays the
moved here,
bills.
so I'm just paying my bills, like, you know." And she was like, "Girl, you can do so much more. You're so pretty. You can do so much
Oh,
more."
that
Like,
is diamond for the Players Club.
yeah, she was like, "You can do so much more." That's really how I felt. She was like, "You can do so much more." I really can think. And at that point in time, I had ran out of hormones, and she was the hormone lady. She was the lady that
Mm.
would actually supply the transgender girls with hormones. So
What
she had gave me
or
her
like
con.
what type of hormones? Those are like the dangerous bootleg type of hormones, or
Well, she would get it prescribed, but I wouldn't
oh,
tell
okay,
nobody to take other people's hormones because everybody's body's different. Everybody,
okay,
have different, everybody body is different. So, but I
yes,
was the girl that was like, I don't care. Like, I need to be soft at all time, at all costs. I had ran out of hormones. Like, I did my own thing when I was in Louisiana, but I had never like switched over everything yet. So I ran out of hormones. I got in contact with her. She started, supply me with hormones and stuff like
mm,
that. And from then, I mean, we started talking. And I was like, "Well, how do you make money? Like, how do you don't got a job? Like what do you do?" And that's when I found out about the escorting business and stuff like that. And I didn't know, that was a thing like that. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't really. That wasn't something I
yeah.
had to do. So
You
it was
wasn't paying
like,
attention to it, yeah,
right. It
yeah.
wasn't. I didn't know how
It was not
serious
something
and
you would
deep it was.
consider, so you wouldn't think about
Hmm.
it. Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it. So I didn't have to, go that route or anything like that. But when you're around people that is making your check in one day, you're like, what do I
Yeah.
do?
Would you right, right.
What and at that time I wanted implants so bad. I was like, I need my breast anyway. These little McDonald's checks is taking all my bills. I'm never gonna further my transition. So I dibbled and dabbed in the fast life for a second. It just wasn't for me though. Like I never had to do it. So when I did it, I was so green to it. It just made me feel, weird. Like I didn't
Mm,
know how to maneuverate. I didn't know what was the right thing to do, what was not the right thing to do. I didn't know. I knew some things, but I didn't know how dangerous it could be,
right, right.
And
And she that what
I
person
was
didn't
just
guide you at all? They didn't get because some people kind of take you under their wing. They didn't really,
Yeah, I mean, again, I still had Amaya and I still had her daughter at the
right,
time. But again, my Amaya was living in Atlanta. She was living, my gay mom was living in Louisiana. So there wasn't
right
with
near
me
you.
no more, like near me.
Mhm.
So I had to kind of figure things out. But for the most part, I kind of knew what needed to be done. I just didn't know how, um, how I was going to get all that money is what I was thinking. I'm like, dang,
Mhm.
a breast implant job is like $5,000. Like, how am I gonna get that? Where am I gonna
Right,
get that from? And this and that.
right.
So I started trying to dabble in the fast life, which didn't work out for me. And some girls that work out for it, some girls that don't. For me, it just didn't work out because I was used to having a job. I was used to they got to stay up all night and stuff like that. I'm baby. I like to go to bed. I like to go to sleep. Like I'm missing all the money because I'm asleep. Like they're like, girl, you never gonna make no money. You sleep. I'm like, baby, this is not for me. This is not what I want to do.
Well, I'm
I'm
glad
like,
you early on.
yeah. So I was like, oh, this is not for me, and I don't judge. That's
Right.
what gets you the money. Do what you do. It just wasn't for me because I didn't know how to operate like that. Like I went to school and everything. I also went to college. After high school, I went to college in Houston.
Yeah.
I was used to a regular life. Not saying that their life not regular, but it's dangerous and scary a little bit.
What was your major in college? What college did
Theater.
you go to? Theater. Oh, okay. So you stayed in theater. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Theater
Okay.
and mass communication. That was what
Theater
I
and
was
mass
going. Now I didn't
communication.
finish, but I did go,
Okay.
and
What
I
school did you
dropped
go
out.
to?
I went to TSU for a little while, then I went to Lone Star for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you said theater and mass communications. Cause so you
Mhm.
you kind of knew what lane you wanted to be on. You
Yeah,
just
I always knew. I
yeah.
always knew where I wanted to be. Like I always knew, and it's crazy that I'm older now and I think about it, but I always knew what I wanted to do. And it took to me, it felt like it took a long time. But when I look at it now, I'm like, you really went quicker than a lot of people. But for me, I felt like I was I wanted to do it for so long. I felt like I was I felt like I was behind, but I really wasn't behind for real.
Right. Got it. Yeah. So when you studied theater in college,
Mhm.
you felt like the escort game wasn't for you. How long were you in it before you decided that it
Oh, girl,
wasn't
maybe
something?
like a month. It was
Oh,
not long at
it was
all.
like
It was not
short
long at
lived.
all. It was not long at all. It was not long at all. Like and of course you meet people while you're doing it. And I kept a few people that was close to me that was giving me some money or whatever, but
Right,
I
right.
didn't know how to cut them off neither. I was like, well, because my thing is, I really genuinely would try to get to know them, but that's not how you supposed to do it. You really supposed to get your money and go. You're not here to make friends. You're here to make some money. But I'll be
Right.
sitting there making friends, like talking to them, like, okay, and then what else happened? And then what you do this day? Oh, and then how's your wife? And how's your kids? And I'm like their home girl for real.
Mhm.
So they're like, you shouldn't be doing this. I remember one of my clients that literally told me, you're not
This
meant for
ain't for
this.
you.
This is not for you. You're
Yeah.
intelligent. You like from what I ran across, you're the most intelligent person I've met. You don't live your life going
Mhm.
in between or trying to be something you're not. You're really a woman. I can't even look at you nothing else but a woman. Like he was like, you got a good head on your shoulders. And I was still working a 9 to 5 as well, so I'm trying to
Mm.
do that and work. I always had a job, so I always was trying to work and that. Now mind you, I will say, my gay parents and my gay fathers and my gay mother and grandmother and stuff like that, they would tell me like, no, like you don't. Why are you trying to do? They was trying to get me to not do it. They was like, why do you want to do that? Like I was like, because it's faster money. But they were like, no, 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 no. Like what sets you apart is that you in the real world and working and going to school and stuff like that. So they were really positive in my life. They was not trying to get me to do that at all. And of course, my real parents didn't know I was doing it at all. So
Right. Of course. Of course. But I'm just glad to see that, and that's a blessing in itself to be able to have not only your support system saying, okay, no, this is not the road that you want to go to, and I'm glad
Mhm.
that you able to get out of it before it escalated to something
Anything could
that it had to. It could have ended up, you know,
bad, right?
like with the whole Raffican thing going on.
Hmm.
I try to be mindful of certain
Hmm.
words that I use.
Hmm.
It could have ended up. So I'm really commend you for understanding, okay, this is not for me. And even, people, because they didn't have to tell you that, they
Yeah,
could
they
have just,
didn't. They could have let me
right.
do it.
They didn't have to care that much at all. They really didn't. So the
And they
fact that they
cared.
did, then that was God in their ear as well. Believe it or not, that was probably God in their ear,
Yeah.
working through them to get to you. So,
Yeah.
I commend you for,
Thank
for
you.
separating
Thank you.
yourself from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like and I would beat myself up when I was kind of younger because I would be like a lot of my sisters, I call them my sister, my transgender sisters, a lot of my sisters would kind of um make me feel like, or they would be like, oh, you think you better than us or something,
Uh,
like,
mm,
and that's what else
mm.
kind of pressured me into kind of doing it, was more so of
Survivor's remorse.
I didn't want to feel like, I didn't want them to feel like I was better than. No, I don't feel like I'm better than you. It's just I just always had a job. I can't help
Right.
that. Like, I just
Right. And you shouldn't apologize for it either.
right. Yeah, now that I'm older, I know that. But back
Right.
in the days, I was apologizing to
Right.
them like,
Yeah. Yeah. You
I'm
got
so
survivor's
sorry.
remorse.
I don't wanna,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't wanna
Yeah.
make you feel like this. I'm not better than you. I'm the same as you. It's just that I got a different path than you. That's
Yeah.
all.
Right.
Like, but we're the
Exactly.
same. And I'll be telling them like, look, you had at that point in time, like, look, y'all got your breast and stuff done yet. I didn't even have my breast and stuff done yet, you know. So I was like, this and that and the third. I mean, but shortly after I did get my breast done, but still.
What were you doing? Okay, what was your regular job at the time?
I had started working for Starbucks as I
Okay.
started off as a barista, and then I worked my way up all the way to store manager. So that was literally my job for so long. Like I think from I
Oh,
was maybe like 20 to I was like 26.
wow. Okay,
No,
that
not
is a long
26. I'm sorry, not 26. Maybe like 24.
wow. Yeah, that's
Um,
so long. Yeah, that's wow, that's a
no,
lot.
not even 24. Maybe like 23. From like 18 to like 23 or
Right,
24 between them age frames.
right.
And then after that, I got into sales, and that's when I started selling to like high end clients. I was selling furniture, it wasn't a regular furniture store. It was a luxury furniture store, and
Mhm.
we would get like all the local rappers and all the NBA players and all the things. So
Okay.
that's when I really started getting into
Connections.
exactly connections and networking and things like that. Because it was like, you are so amazing. You're so this. But for a while, I had stopped telling people I was trans because it would kind of hinder me. And that, back in the days, it wasn't like
Oh, yeah,
a
right.
thing,
Yes,
So
yes.
I kind of, I'm not gonna say I hid it, but yet you don't ask me, I ain't telling you. You know what I'm
Right, you
saying?
got to right,
So
right.
I kept it like that. But that's what made me the connections that I you know got in Houston, and my life from there soared.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so so how did it source? So you went you said that you went into sales, you
Mhm,
always maintain a job, but long-term
mhm,
work. So that's a good thing.
mhm,
So
mhm.
and you went from there and is that around the time you moved to Atlanta or you were
Yeah,
still
I was in Houston. I was with an ex husband. I had got married
oh,
without nobody knowing.
I
So I
didn't
had got
know.
kind of
Oh yeah,
yeah. I had got
I sure didn't. I sure didn't know. I had no
yeah.
idea.
I had got divorced. That's what made me another reason what made me move to Georgia was because I was just getting out of that and I just wanted to start over.
What
So
started new
and,
and why
yeah.
Georgia?
Well, Georgia, you already know why, but I moved to Georgia because I met, well, I didn't meet, but my best friend, Jade Gerard, um, he was in the entertainment industry. He's a singer songwriter. You know him, and everybody know him.
Mhm.
So we always did. We knew each other in college and stuff like that, and then we always just kept communication and stuff like
Got
that.
it.
And he was living out here, and he was like, "I have this wonderful podcast idea and this show. Well, I'm
Mm-mm.
sorry, before it was a podcast, it was a show. And he had this wonderful idea. He's like, I feel like you'll be great for you. Always been a star. Like I just knew that you're gonna be something. Like he put fire underneath me, like,
Yes, he will pour into you.
girl,
Yeah, yeah.
right. He was like, girl, you're it. You're the girl. Like I'm telling you, you're the girl. And I'm like, I was married and with someone for so long
Yeah, so
and
what
then
go back to that, Jade. I want to because I want to get more into the marriage part. So how long were you married? But first of all, how long were you married?
altogether 6.5 years, going on 7 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And so how was the marriage overall? Like,
It was good. I mean, we didn't have no issues or anything. We wasn't like we didn't fall in a bad way, should I say. I wish him the
mhm,
best. I felt we just had two different paths in life. He wanted me to be a housewife. I wanted to be outside and being a celebrity. He
mhm.
wanted more of a traditional life. I wanted a luxury life. So we
Yeah.
just was on two different paths, and we just decided to, go our separate ways.
Okay. And so we will go before we go further into on your life in Atlanta. I just also want to kind of get more into what your preference is as far as who you normally date. Is it do you
Mm.
date straight men? Get like how what is your preference when it comes to who you date?
So, I date. See, a thing about me is I normally keep my love life private,
Mhm.
but since it's your faith, I'm gonna open up a little bit. Technically, I'm not picky. I'm not. I lean towards a more of a masculine guy, but I'm not picky. If he's in the community, he's in the community. If he's not, he's not. You know. But for some odd reason, I'm not gonna say some odd reason. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably with a heterosexual male. And that's not saying I haven't dated or
Mhm.
been with men that have been in the community that consider themselves bisexual or consider themselves, um, whatever they consider themselves. I don't judge, and if you like me, if you like me and I like you, that's all that matters. But I tend towards that. I mean, I have dated some trans men as well.
Okay.
So, I'm not like that
Selective.
would be, yeah, I'm not selective. I don't judge. So if I like you and I think you're attractive, then I'm gonna go for you.
As
Or
long as,
you'll
as long
go
as
for
it's a
me.
male, as long as it's a male.
A male figure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I
Now,
just
I
want
mean,
you
if
to
a
know
girl
that.
wanna come my way, then
Oh,
hey.
oh, 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 she open to that too. So you fluid.
Yeah,
You're
I'm over.
fluid.
Yeah. I haven't really had an experience with a girl,
Okay.
but now that I'm older, I'm like, oh,
You
what would
wanted to
that be
explore
like?
that. All right.
I'm open to it a little bit.
Okay. Okay. You hear that, y'all? All right. See, I'm
I'm
trying to
open to
young.
it a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Yes, but I wanted to ask that question. Well, also because a lot of times when you have transgender women, they always have a more. I mean, I don't know. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but based on what I hear, they seem like they have a preference towards straight men, heterosexual
Yeah,
men.
I used to be like that when I was younger.
Mhm.
When I got older, I realized that with heterosexual men, um, it's complicated because I've been in relationships with them as well, and they will think that if they sleep with a cisgender woman or bio woman, however you want to call it, I don't know the terminology. Don't crucify me to the cross, but a biological woman, they will feel
Biological.
like if they sleep with a biological woman is not cheating on you because you're not the same as they consider it not the same as them because you have two different body parts or something like that, or you wasn't born that way. So it always it's challenging. You got to be really careful with that because it's challenging because I'm not gonna say they're confused. It's just more so of they don't feel like they're doing anything wrong.
Right.
So that was my big challenge. And at first, for the longest time, I only used to date, straight men or
Straight.
whatever.
Hmm.
Heterosexual men, I used to only date them. But I as I got older, I started opening up my eyes and realizing like sometimes it's okay if they like what they like. They as long as they treat me as I present myself, as long as they treat me as a woman and don't disrespect me, I'm open to it. Now, I'm not saying that I just need everybody under the rainbow coming to me. It's just more so of
Right. No, I get it.
it's who I like. I like. I'm not picky.
Got you. So, when you have a connection with someone, do you let them know off the bat? Do you let them know?
Like my tea
Right away. Do you let them know?
depends. It just
On.
depends, and I say it depends because it depends on if I am just meeting you and like say we're in a public setting and there's a bunch of people around
Mm-hmm.
and they're trying to talk to me. You got to be careful because if you're trying to talk to me in public and I would say, hey, I'm trans. You know, some men can't
Right.
accept that and they're gonna punch you. They're
Yeah,
gonna
I'm not saying like I
you.
mean I'm not
It's
saying to like announce it to the world, but I'm just saying, do
yeah.
you have that conversation? Like, do you tell that
I
person directly
so
or
so for me, I don't never say it verbatimly. I'm a text girl. I rather text you that than like tell it to you out loud. Don't
oh,
ask me why. I always been that type of girl. Like I'm gonna tell you, or if I do say it out loud, we're in private. There's nobody around, and it's just me and you. But I'm never going to. Um, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm scared, but more so, I'm a fireball. So if I feel like they disrespect me, because some men will feel
right.
played and
'Cause
they'll try to
you don't know how they're gonna
disrespect me.
react to it.
Yeah, and I don't know how
Mhm.
I'm gonna react because I'm
Right.
always protected.
Always
So
ready.
if you start acting
Mhm.
crazy, then
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn up with you. I'm not that girl that's gonna
Right.
turn the other cheek. I'm gonna get that with you, and
You're
then
gonna
that could
meet
go
you're gonna meet
wrong.
them where they are. Yeah.
Exactly. So therefore,
Mhm.
I like to say it in a text message or now that's before we even get on a date or anything like that. Like I'm not gonna go on a date with you. I'm not gonna be in your presence
Yeah,
alone
yes.
with you without you knowing
Mhm.
who and what I am
So
because
you
I'm
say
not ashamed
you
of it.
right. So you honest right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's good to know.